Hello everyone, and welcome to another Bass Singer Reaction. A quick reminder that I am reading all the comments, so thank you guys for all the encouragement that I'm getting, and I'm glad you appreciate the analysis that I'm bringing to the table, and I'm reading all the suggestions. So this is clearly one that has been suggested a lot to me. It's of course one I've heard. It was pretty much the bass anthem slash acapella anthem, from when it came out until still to this day. It's one of the most iconic acapella pieces ever. It's such a great collaboration between Home Free, bringing in Avi from when he was in Pentatonix. That's when this was made. The collaboration of Home Free with Avi is something I'm sure we all wish we could have heard more of. It'd be great if they could have done a full album together or something. But we got this song, and it's one of the best. I've of course heard it a number of times. I heard it a lot when it came out. I haven't heard it much recently. So I'm looking forward to digging deep and putting more thought into what's going on behind the scenes and vocally, and just enjoying this piece. I mean, I have never listened to this song and not enjoyed it. So we're going to have some fun today. We're definitely going to have some fun today. So thank you guys for the suggestions. Keep them coming. And just trust that about once a week, I am getting around to them. And without further ado, let's listen to Home Free, Ring of Fire, featuring Avi Kaplan of Pentatonix. Johnny Cash cover. Here we go. I'm definitely feeling some Pit Viper action. At least once. Maybe twice. But at least once. Okay.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring, and bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire.
I love that intro. It's such a nice take on this classic song by Johnny Cash. So different from the original. I mean, it really is just this warm blanket of sound, fittingly around a campfire. There's a lot of oohs which blend really well vocally. In fact, I think the background is pretty much all oohs. It's easy for the voice to blend on ooh, based on the harmonic structure of those formants that you're creating when you sing on an ooh vowel. And so, anyone who's been to a choir concert, when a choir nails an ooh vowel, in a nice chordal structure, it's just it just blends perfectly if everyone's in tune, which of course they are here. So it's this warm blanket of sound, and then they're stacking more warm blankets on top of that sound with soloists like Tim and Avi. Very warm, breathy, round tones in their singing. And it just all comes together for this just comforting, beautiful intro before we get a little rowdy in the next part, you know what I mean? Come on. So we go from this beautiful intro into country mode, which is great. It's a contrast. Contrast is something that no matter what will make a song more interesting. For better or for worse, at least more interesting. If you have an introduction that's one way, and then a verse that's another way, and a breakdown that's another way, all in kind of different styles, as long as it's not overdone and done for the sake of itself, just to be weird and out there, it adds a lot to the song. As long as those different parts mesh, this is perfect. This is a separate intro, and then they're not trying to bring this blendy background into the meat and potatoes of the piece. Then they get into more of a classic cover of the original. So they have these two separated parts, but this song really works well with this intro. It sets us up in this comfort mode, and then we go into fun mode. So let's go back just a bit so we can get back into that.
A ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher.
I love this because Avi's bringing. He's doing like that kind of stuff, which is like classic Avi. And it's not that kind of bass line is not the first thing you think of when you think of country music. So it's kind of like Avi's bringing his own kind of Pentatonix smooth bass jump style into this country cover, and it really works nicely. And it works nicely with the perk, which is killer on this song. I always remember the perk. The perk always blew my mind on this song. So good. Yeah, that's that. So that's a great start. And then, you know, we don't have as much, like, background-wise, it's not as much a foundation during this part. It's like, doot, doot, doot. It's like a lot of doots on the offbeats, yet it still feels full. I mean, there's if you listen closely, there's actually a lot of empty space in the upper voice parts, but it still feels really full because you have Tim most of the time, Tim or Avi crushing the bass line, and you have Perk and whoever's doing the bass line meshing really well, and you have a great soloist at all times. So a lot of things are coming together to make this a really full, clean, satisfying piece, all in all.
I went down, 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 and
Okay, so in this part, in the chorus part of the song, they're singing along with the words. It's the verses where they're going doot 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 a bunch, which we'll hear in a second.
the flames went higher.
And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. And
Like I said, we have do, do, do. A lot of do's in the background. Still feels full. Probably because Avi's tone is so warm and inviting and round. I mean, this is us talking about stacking the warm blanket on top of warm blanket on top of campfire on top of warm blanket. I mean, Avi, the taste of love is sweet. It's just like so, it's like warm chocolate. And that's just how the man sings. I mean, just a beautiful instrument he's got. And he uses it so well. Let's keep going. Yeah.
when hearts like ours meet, and I fell for you like a child. Whoa, the fire went wild.
Ooh. Just a killer. This is the pit vibe I was debating, because this again is a pretty iconic moment in acapella where it's like, whoa, bass gets an awesome solo moment. Super cool. So it's great. Avi, I love how he flexes his riffing ability a little bit. He flexes his vocal agility some. He riffs up a bit and then kind of perches it before he takes us down to the basement. And it's a great little setup. Like, he kind of throws an alley-oop to himself. And then Tim, which you guys will hear in a moment, just does this, but like a bigger alley-oop. Like, Avi's was on a 10-foot rim. Tim's is on like a 12-foot rim. He's just like, just launches it up and then dunks it on the G1 growl at the end. Spoilers, but there's no way anyone's watching this that hasn't seen the original video, so I'm not worried. Avi, we love you. Your voice is beautiful. We're going to keep going. After we hear that C, one more time. One more time.
And I fell for you like a child. Whoa, the fire went wild.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the
I love that. So then Tim and Avi are really, they're like mimicking each other's sound. It's just like breathy, like really warm tone. And I mean, it almost sounds like the same person singing bass the whole time. Like, that's how in sync these two are vocally.
flames went higher.
And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Yay, love.
Yay! Yay! What does he do there?
Fire, the ring of fire.
Yay, love.
Yay, love. I love that. He's just like, oh, Avi, you can riff? Oh, dude, you can riff? Well, hey, dude, I can riff too, dude. Check out this one. He just jumps on the scene with this beautiful little descending pattern. And just revs it up from there. But I love that intro. He just slides in. It's like sliding up in the DMs. He's sliding up in our ear DMs. Ready for this?
Fire, the ring of fire. Yeah, love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire.
He's so good. He's so good. He has so much vocal control and ease throughout his entire range, which is enormous. 5 octaves. People keep telling me in the comment section. Just like it's obvious, like, yes, he goes from his chest voice to his falsetto, but there's no strain, there's no obvious crack or flip. And not only that, but he does it while riffing up there. Just so effortless and easy. And this is not a product of the engineering, although the sound engineers for this level of acapella are exceptional. They really do an incredible job polishing a product. But you hear Tim do this kind of stuff in his little live sessions. Like he'll sing like a Josh Turner cover and just riff without planning it, and it's flawless. It's like he's playing a piano with his voice, just like perfect stepwise riffing. So that's something I love, and he riffs all the way up into his falsetto and demonstrates he has this light vocal agility. I mean, it's amazing. He gets up high, and you're like, it's easy to forget that he's a super low bass. And then he just, like I said earlier, he just throws this giant alley-oop, like literally like throws his voice up and then just buries you with a G1 growl at the end. So we're about to hear that. Well, let's just hear this finesse he throws on these lines real quick.
Bound.
Riffing upwards is hard. I will say that forever during these reactions. Riffing up cleanly is way harder than riffing down. So that is technically very difficult.
By wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns.
I love that little perk break. What's he do there?
Down, 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 and the flames went higher.
Something like that? That's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
He just like, obviously like, listen, I'm not getting the last note. I'm not getting the G1, so I'm going to make sure y'all know. I'm going to just hit D2 real quick. Just a nice thick D2. I'm going to just stick it in there. Just throw it in there so you guys remember. Don't forget, we got two low basses here, not just one, okay? Don't forget it. Forgive the accents. They just pop out willy-nilly.
Burns the ring of fire. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. The ring of fire.
Man, that ending never gets old, does it? Far, far. There you go. There's a G1 chest fry for you. You know, when this came out, growl was not really a thing. Even subharmonics were not really a thing when this came out. I remember listening to this over and over and over again and being like, how the hell is he... There's no... Like, it can't be chest. Like, who can sing a chest note like that? I later found out people could sing chest notes like that. But, point being, this is before I was inducted into the world of Bassopolis. May the bass be with you. So I remember listening to this over and over again and just being like, how is he doing that? Like, what kind of voice does that? turns out it's just an exceptional growl, which he really kind of brought to the mainstream and popularized. I believe on the sing-off, he would do some crazy growl stuff, and people are like, what is... I remember hearing his F1 and, I don't know, some Johnny Cash cover on the sing-off, and I was like, how? What is he doing? I didn't know what he was doing. Now we know what he's doing. But it still is incredibly impressive to have that kind of control on a growl. And this, I mean, this is arguably the most iconic growl ever. I mean, there are others since this time who have come up on the same level, but I mean, this growl, let's give it one more listen, because this growl is the growl of all growls. Growl.
Fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher.
And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
It's just so thick. It's so thick and controlled. It's really, bravo, Tim. Bravo on the growl. And bravi tutti to everyone involved. This is such a great cover. So much fun. Not terribly complex, you know. They have this nice intro. Nothing complicated. Just a lot of ooze with a nice blend. Great soloist. Great perk. And then it goes, and then it just becomes, I mean, we just get on down to the honky tonk for the rest of it, you know what I mean? Y'all hear? You hear? Just like fun background, great perk, exceptional basses, obviously, and great soloing. And it's just fun. It's just a well done, well executed, fun cover that all of us can listen to over and over and over again. And could you tell I had fun doing this? Man, I love this. So keep those suggestions coming. I'm getting around to them once a week, because that's a pace I think I can keep up even when the opera career comes back online here shortly. Big announcement coming from me. I might have told you actually by the time this drops, so we'll see. But yes, I have some big opera things coming, which is exciting. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is my reaction to Home Free Ring of Fire featuring Avi Kaplan of Pentatonix. See you next time. Bye.